Welcome to this next component of Module 3, where we will be taking an in-depth look at sports events as a key element for tourism. We will begin by looking at how to start an event, and this requires clarification of the event concept. Successful events are usually based on a strong concept and purpose. Ideas for holding events arise from a multitude of reasons. For example, your idea may have come from a simple need or desire to. The next component involves effective communication of the vision and mission. If you don't already have an articulated vision and mission statement for your event, you may be unsure or confused as to what it actually means to have one. You may also be a bit skeptical about the need for such statements. Our advice is pretty straightforward in this respect. By defining the vision and the mission, or purpose, of the event at this stage, you will be able to more clearly communicate to others what you hope to achieve, thus providing focus and direction for everyone involved, including potential funders. In essence, don't expect others to be able to read your mind. In line with having a clear vision and mission for the event, you should also be able to define and communicate your event's objectives. Your objectives should help to deliver your vision and mission. Objectives need to be clearly set out and should follow the SMART principle in that they should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and time-based. It is also useful at the preliminary stages of the event planning process if you undertake a simple SWOT analysis, as it will help to determine the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, SWOT, in relation to the event. This will assist you in shaping your plans. When undertaking the SWOT analysis, the following points should be considered. Event management. This will include, for example, the experience within the organization, staffing numbers and structure, financial stability, viability of planning, confidence of funders. Partners, clients. This should be considered in terms of the support they can or cannot provide, whether that is finance, influence or resources, etc. Climates. These include the social, economic, cultural and political climates. Event benefits. This aspect concerns what the event offers and ultimately, what is its unique selling point, USP. The next element is the potential to develop and grow and the factors that will assist or hinder this. And finally, other factors which may also need consideration, which will include aspects such as competition, technology and any legal and environmental factors. Once the event mission, vision and objectives have been set and a detailed SWOT analysis completed, the finer details of the event itself can then start to be formulated. One of these elements is choosing the date and venue of the event. It is important to remember that even at this point, various factors will determine the best case scenario for this situation. For example, the nature of the event, such as whether it is indoor or outdoor, will subsequently impact on how, where and when the event can be run. Furthermore, the weather will also play a major role, as will the target audience and their preferences and ability to participate. In order to maximize attendance from a target audience perspective as well as a project management perspective, a potential clash of diaries with other events will clearly need to be avoided. Another way in which to maximize the full potential of the event is to establish whether there are any complementary events that are running simultaneously which can help to expand the reach of your event. Other aspects to consider would be whether your event will involve activities or competitions, as a suitable venue would therefore be vital in ensuring that these particular activities can be held successfully. Similarly, any resources that your event will require will need to easily be transported to the venue, otherwise it would be a good idea to select a venue that will provide the resources you need. Finally, any other factors that have not already been considered would also need to be included to ensure that both the venue and date are suitable for the purpose of the event. The next stage is to start formulating an event action plan. To be clear, the Event Action Plan is a live management tool that details key project milestones and activities against a timeline. It should be continually reviewed and updated as the event planning and operations progress. It is a good idea to make a short overview of all the aspects mentioned in terms of key activities and then to start with some human resource management. This will allow you to decide on key personnel who will work on the event, as well as giving the opportunity to agree on the rules and regulations of your team. This then begins the general planning phase. Depending on the size and scale of the event, it can be useful to create teams in order to handle the various aspects of the management process. In any case, it is vital that each member who is involved with the event clearly understands their role and associated tasks in order to ensure that the overall event management process can run effectively. The human resource management aspect is just one element that is crucial to managing and delivering a successful event. Therefore, the EMBOK model is regularly used by event planners to aid them with the rest of the planning. The model itself requires event managers to tie together the event's core values, processes, phases and domains. Every event manager, from festival organizers to conference planners, must manage each of these 5 domains: administration, design, marketing, operations and risk. They represent the temporary departments or divisions of the event management. The domains themselves are subdivided into 7 classes, but the order of the classes does not imply their priority. Different types of events will have different priorities for each of the classes, and it is therefore vital for event planners to understand the extent to which each domain and class has an impact on their event. From the domain of operations, comes the element of logistics, another crucial aspect for any event. In many ways, this area deals with the day-to-day and fundamental activities of the event, many of which are likely to interlink. As a logistics manager, it is therefore easy to get carried away and become a jack of all trades, a master of none. To avoid this, effective project management is crucial, whereby simple scheduling, using the means of a Gantt chart and critical path analysis, can ensure that all event activities are fully addressed and accounted for. A Gantt chart serves as a type of bar chart that illustrates an entire project schedule. Gantt charts clearly outline the start and finish dates of a project, as well as all key activities taking place throughout the project. The advantages of a Gantt chart are that it visually summarizes the project or event schedule, is an effective communication and control tool, particularly with volunteers, can point out problem areas or clashes of scheduling, is readily adaptable to all event areas and provides a summary of the history of the event. However, tasks must be arranged and estimated in the most practical and logical sequence in order for the Gantt chart to be effective. The sequential element can be clearly seen in this example, whereby there are several activities occurring simultaneously, and therefore, by using a Gantt chart, the correct order of activities can be scheduled, which will ultimately help with the effective planning of the overall and interim events. The critical path method in project management, also known as critical path analysis, CPA, is a scheduling procedure that uses a network diagram to depict a project and the sequences of tasks required to complete it, which are known as paths. To visualize a CPA, a mathematical basis can also be used as a tool for planning, scheduling, and coordinating complex engineering-type projects. The essential ingredient of the technique is a mathematical model that incorporates sequence information, durations, and costs for each component of the project by network flow methods. Analysis of the solutions of the model enables operating personnel to answer questions concerning labor needs, budget requirements, procurement and design limitations, the effects of delays and communication difficulties. Therefore, it helps to establish which activities simply cannot run late, and thus the ones which are critical in ensuring the smooth running of the overall event. Once all aspects of the event setup have been considered, its implementation can then be mapped out. The following video outlines the key components of event coordination. The management of an event does not just end at the implementation of the event itself. In order to fully understand its impact and success and whether or not it has achieved its objectives, evaluation and reporting are crucial. This is the process of critically observing, measuring and monitoring the implementation of an event in order to assess its outcomes accurately. Any negative feedback allows for the event planners to learn and improve for future events, and is therefore just as important as any positive outcomes. It is also imperative that key stakeholders are kept informed, where necessary, of information that may impact upon them. In this way, it gives the event planner accountability and stakeholders the opportunity to further strengthen the relationship. The timing of any evaluations is as important as the evaluation itself, and it should therefore take place both pre- and post-event as well as during the event itself. Again, this allows for the opportunity to correct any potential issues, ensure the rest of the event runs as smoothly as possible, and also helps to maintain and protect the integrity and values of the event. Feedback can be obtained in many ways and is usually dependent on the nature of the event as well as the resources required. However, a few examples of feedback procedures include data collection, observation, feedback meetings and questionnaires and surveys. In the previous slides, guidelines for general event planning and management were given. When thinking of sports events specifically, Pine and Gilmore suggest that 4 aspects play a major role in their success. These are emotion, education, entertainment and experience. Together, these 4 elements come together to create the experience economy, whereby Pine and Gilmore believe that experiences are a distinct offering related specifically to services and can therefore enhance the overall value of the event. They believe that this must occur in the following ways. Firstly, experiences must provide a memorable offering. Secondly, the guest must be drawn into the offering such that they feel a sensation, and finally, the guest must actively participate. All of this requires highly skilled actors who can dynamically personalize each event and help it to achieve its full potential. When translated to the sporting environment, the workers are known as actors, the visitors or attendees take on the role of the guests and the event or stadium itself thereby becomes the stage, effectively an arena whereby the overall experience thus takes place. Experiences were classified into 4 realms: education, aesthetics, escapism and entertainment. The 4 experiences vary based on the customer's active or passive participation and on absorption or immersion in the experience. Pine and Gilmore termed these realms the 4S. The 4S consist of adding educational, aesthetic, escapist, and entertainment experiences to the business. For instance, the customer can actively participate in a product trial or passively watch a product demonstration performed by a staff member. Absorption is then occupying customers' attention by bringing the experience into the mind, and immersion is becoming physically or virtually a part of the experience itself. In the context of sporting events then, the delivery itself is vital to be able to achieve the desired experience, and event managers should aim to give a sporting theme to the experience, mix in sporting memorabilia in order to engross the guests further, and finally, it should engage all 5 senses in order to be truly seen as successful. When looking beyond sport into the realms of sport and tourism events, the concept of transformation is a central component. Experienced extreme sport athletes are likely to associate participation with positive and life-enhancing experiences, either because the act itself, e.g., catching and surfing a big wave, is meaningful, or due to the fact that the extreme sport experience is itself transformational. Extreme sports have been promoted as a medium for learning about goal achievement and mastery, overcoming and managing fear and anxiety, developing self-efficacy and increasing self-esteem. These attributes have the potential to enhance participants' sense of self and quality of life. Therefore, whilst experiences do provide sensations and a memorable event, these do wear off with time. Transformations, on the other hand, make a permanent beneficial change to the customer. As such, transformations are inspirational and must be sustained through time. Thank you for your attention.